Hello there, this is Mikhail or Michael speaking, and today, like always, I will cover some changes on the map and will give my analysis. Let's start with Bakhmut. So this is the situation yesterday, and this is the situation today. You can see that Russians had captured a small portion of the city right here, and moved close to this river right here and about to enter the central part of Bakhmut. It is safe to say that the damage done by the Ukrainians blowing up this water dam is now insufficient, and Russians are attacking right where the water is supposed to be. So this area right here. Here are the changes in the city. You can see that Russians are closing in to the Bakhmutka river itself. Again, it is safe to assume that Russians are controlling the whole eastern side of the city, and there are even reports that Russians are attacking beyond the river to establish bridgeheads. Russians are also putting pressure on the south side of Bakhmut. They are pushing hard. Reports say that they are storming the city all around this sector. There are reports of newer and newer reinforcements coming to the city of Bakhmut, so Russians have a really hard battle ahead of them. To the north of the Bakhmut, Russians are attacking along this hill. Again, reports that Russians had captured the village of Khromove, but Ukrainians are not keen to admit it. If Russians had captured this village, that would mean that they are having a complete fire control over this road right here. We can see it by this topography map. As you can see, here is the hill. It is the top of the hill right here, and this is the bottom of the hill. So not only Russians are having fire control over this road right here, but also the city itself. The map doesn't show it, but there are also reports that Russians are attacking on this sector towards village of Ivanovsky. Again, they are attempting to, at this point, fully encircle Bakhmut city. But Ukrainians are again reinforcing Bakhmut city. They have a lot of troops in Chasiv Yar, which they use as a supply hub, and they replenish their dead soldiers. Prigozhin has stated that in the month of February, his troops killed around 11,000 of Ukrainian soldiers. And he's saying that Ukrainians are throwing more and more people into the meat grinder. I think it's true, based on the fact that Bakhmut is not yet encircled and heavy fighting is still raging on around and in the city. Hey, if you enjoyed my video so far, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting, as it is good for algorithms. If you've already done that, I want to say my big thank you from the bottom of my heart, and just know that I really appreciate you. From Bakhmut, we go to the Seversk and Liman front. So first Seversk. As you can see, no changes had occurred, but once again, Russians are trying to attack and capture village of Avdiivka and Vesely, as well as they're attacking from here towards village of Belokharivka, but Seversk is extremely fortified city with a lot of troops in it, so Russians will have trouble attacking on these axes. From Seversk, we go a bit up to the north, and here is city of Liman. As you can see, no changes had occurred to the east of Liman. Russians are fighting in these forested areas right here, as well as exchanging artillery duels with Ukrainians. Judging by the fact of how many shells are fired each day, Russians are overwhelming Ukrainians significantly, and we might expect that when the weather conditions get better, Russians will resume their attack and will achieve success on this front. A little change occurred here, where the village of Nevsky is, you can see right here. So Russians had captured a small portion of the field. It would seem that they are attacking in this general direction towards the village of Nevsky. From here we go all the way down, where lies city of Avdiivka. Here some changes had occurred. First of all, there are reports that Russians had stormed and captured village of Vesely. You can see by the changes on the map. As well as there are reports of heavy fighting for Krasnokharivka village, and once again Russians are claiming that they had captured the village of Kamyanka. If we go to a topography map, we can see that Russians are mostly fighting for this hill area right here. So again, controlling a hill would mean controlling the railroad that goes here and the roads that going also here. So Russians are fighting for those hills in order to secure their overall encirclement of Avdiivka. And the reason why I believe they're actually encircling Avdiivka in the matter of Bakhmut is the next map change. So as you can see, here is yesterday and here is today. The Russians had attacked extremely well from the village of Vadyane towards village of Severne and Toneke. They're also attacking from Aputne, but again they are attacking along this road right here and its sides, securing their flanks. So we can see that now that the weather is bad, roads became the only way for armor to advance. So Russians, I'm sure, will continue attacking along this road, capturing these villages right here. And actually, if we zoom in and look, these positions are not as good for Ukrainians as they would be good for Russians. Not only there is a river that can serve as a natural defense line, there's actually a forest line as well. So by capturing those two villages, Russians can have a very good strong point, and after that they can launch their attacks towards other smaller villages. This makes me believe that this is an attempt of a bigger encirclement. Russians are simultaneously attacking along this front and along this front, so it is safe to say that Avdiivka will be encircled in a manner that Bakhmut was. Now, I'm sure the Battle of Bakhmut will be over faster than the encirclement of Avdiivka, and something tells me that some of the Wagner troops that has tremendous experience fighting in the Bakhmut will be sent here as well, and I'm sure they will achieve bigger victories because the terrain here is much easier than in Bakhmut city. From Avdiivka we go to Marinka. As you can see, no changes on the map, but reports of heavy fighting in the center of the city, as well as Russians are trying to flank Ukrainians here, and they're trying to capture the village of Pobeda to gain control over this road. After Marinka we go to Vuglidar. Once again, no changes on the map. Russians are still battling out who is going to be victorious in this battle. They are fighting for this dacha area, as well as attacking towards the mines right here, but again, no changes, so it's hard to say what exactly going on. But reports of heavy fighting, so we can see the result in few days or maybe a week. So this is it for today. Have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free.